Hi guys, it's Mrs. Boudreaux here to talk to you about the RACES strategy. Remember, we're going to use this when we're doing writing about text. When we need to give text evidence, we're going to use this strategy so that we write a little better. So just to remind us what it stands for, the R in RACES stands for restate the question. So you're going to read the question or the prompt, you're going to underline the keywords, and you're going to rewrite the question as a statement. You're going to turn that question into a sentence, and that's one thing by its next self. And then next, you're going to do the A for answer. You're going to answer the question. So you're going to restate it, then you're going to answer it. So this is what it asked me in a sentence, and this is what my answer is. But you're not done yet because you can't be right if you don't prove it, right? So you have to prove it. So now you're going to cite your text evidence. So you're going to go into the story and either find a direct quote or paraphrase right from the text, the evidence that proves your answer true, and put the line numbers in there. Then you have to explain and elaborate. So you say, tell us how your quote proves that answer true, so without a doubt it proves that you're right. And then you sum it all up. If we were going to cut this sentence off the bottom, it would tell us exactly what we need to know in order to understand the whole thing. It would just sum it all up. Remember, there are different sentence starters you can use, right? So when you're citing text evidence, you just don't put the quote in. You have to start it with something. You have to introduce it. Just like if somebody came to a party, you don't just make them introduce themselves. Same thing with the quote. It's come to your writing party, you got to introduce it. So you could use things like according to the text, the article states, according to the author, the text says, any of those examples that are here on the page. Then when you go to explain your answer, you also let us know your explanation starting. You introduce it. So you say this shows, it proves, it makes me think. We don't use the me that much unless it's personal. You could say it explains, it depicts. You could tell us what it's showing, okay? And then for the summarize, for your last sentence, you don't always want to use in conclusion or all in all. You could say therefore, that's why, in summary, for these reasons. So these are just some things to help you know what to say. Then let's try it. Let's say our question is, what type of personality did Sully in the story Rogue Wave have? So we need to think for a minute. First thing I do is restate the question. So I just have to say that Sully had a personality, right? Because I need to take those keywords. I need personality, I need Sully, I need Rogue Wave. So one way to say this could be Sully had a very distinct or specific personality in the short story Rogue Wave. There's my restate. If the question was separated from the restate, we know exactly what the question asked. Now we answer it. So we think about, wow, he never gave up on his sister, right? So a person who never gives up is determined. So we could say Sully could be described as very determined. Got our second sentence. Now I can't stop there. I have to give evidence to prove it. So I look through the book and I remember when he was like, I'm just going to keep saying that over and over again because I'm not going to give up hope, right? So I could say one example was when, there's my sentence starter, my introduction. He decided to keep saying it the rest of the day and into the night, or for as long as it took to penetrate the hull with words. Skylight, skylight. Notice that in those parentheses, I have the line numbers. We don't know that you're right unless you show us where it comes from. So you need to give us the line numbers. Still not done yet. Now I have to say how this answer proved it true, right? How it shows he never gave up. So I might say this proves that he was determined because he never gave up on Scoot, even when it seemed helpless. Your explanation you should aim for 2 sentences. So I continue with, this is only one example of how he kept trying to save her. And then we summarize it. We sum it all up. We write one sentence that says, boom, this is what I just wrote about. In conclusion, Sully was a very determined character who never gave up hope that Scoot would live. Look at that. We wrote a whole paragraph. If you follow RACES, getting a paragraph answer goes like that as quick as a race, and you're ready to go. So let's practice this strategy and keep using it. Every time an answer asks us for text evidence, we're going to use a RACES format.